Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is December 26th, and I'm due to give you guys another update here on my training from last week. Now, this review on training is going to cover December 19th through December 25th yesterday, and as you guys know from the last time I updated you, I pretty much was doing a recovery week, taking it easy on intensity, and I dialed back on my time on the bike, allowing myself to recover after a solid 5 weeks of training on Trainer Road. Now, so I pretty much started off the week with Trainer Road's volunteer workout, which was pretty much just a 30-minute ride at endurance pace. I did do a 10-minute warm-up before the ride. So that was a pretty relatively easy day getting me into my recovery week. Now, I proceeded that on the 20th with Trainer Road's Mount Albert workout with another 10-minute warm-up. That was just an hour ride. Again, just kind of doing some different endurance pace intervals with a couple of short recoveries. Again, just dialing back the intensity and dialing back my time on the bike from what I had been doing up the previous 5 weeks, allowing my body to absorb that training and to recover to hopefully hit my next phase of training in a more rested state and ability to endure more training here in the future. And then, of course, I took actually Trainer Road gave me an extra rest day this week, and I had the 21st off, so I didn't do any training. I did do a couple of my core exercises, my chair pose and my plank position. I did do those this week because I want to continue to do those every week. So on the 22nd, I followed back up on Trainer Road with the Hawk Mountain workout, which is this is actually a 2-hour endurance-paced interval workout with a couple of short recoveries. Again, not getting up towards that FTP number, not really hitting any kind of high intensity, just putting in some endurance miles. This was a 2-hour workout. Did do the 10-minute warm-up, and then on the 23rd, I did Trainer Road's Andrews workout, which is an hour and a half. Ride. I also did a 40-minute warm-up on that ride. And again, just doing some endurance intervals. No real recovery during the Andrews ride, but you're riding at a low enough percentage of FTP power that you don't really need to. So that was a good ride. And then actually, I was calling for another rest day on Christmas Eve. Saturday, Christmas Eve, was another rest day for me, and didn't do any training, just took the day off the bike. And then yesterday was actually the last day of my rest week, so to speak, but I actually began my second phase of Trainer Road training, and I did my newest FTP test on Trainer Road. And if you guys look at this graph here, you'll see, of course, the warm-up, and then about 30 minutes into the ride, you hit the first actual FTP interval. And as you see there, the power on that left, on that first interval, that first long interval, the power is more consistent than the second one. And as you guys know, I listen to the Trainer Road podcast. I love that podcast. They share some great information on there. And the guys at Trainer Road have said that that as long as you get one, solid 8-minute effort in, then you can use one 8-minute effort to establish, to get a pretty good handle on your FTP. So that's the approach I took on this ride. The first time I did the Trainer Road FTP test, I don't feel I did a good job pacing those, and I felt like I held too much in reserve on the first one, knowing I had the second one on the horizon. So I wanted to try something different this time. I said, you know what, I'm going to go out and I'm just going to hit that first 8-minute interval absolutely as hard as I possibly can, and I'm going to use that one as my go by, and then I'll just ride the second the second interval at a hard pace, but just kind of do it as a hard interval, kind of to make the day's workout kind of deal. So I was throwing everything I had in that first interval. I felt like I paced it super well. I had pretty much nothing left in the tank after 8 minutes. In fact, about halfway through, I was really debating whether or not I was going to be able to hold the power I was holding and the cadence I was holding. And I ended up doing that. My number, according to that first 8-minute interval, I tested at 295 watts. Now, of course, you take 10% off of that number to establish your FTP. So 10% off of 295 put me at about 266. So according to the test, my FTP has gone up. And if you guys remember, the first time I did my TrainerRoad FTP test, combining the two 8-minute efforts, I tested around 224 for my power. Now, of course, I think my FTP has increased from the first 5 weeks of, for the 5 weeks of doing the first TrainerRoad sweet spot base high volume plan. But I also think that doing just the one effort, for me anyways, the one effort I think is going to be the way I'm going to test my FTP in the future. I just have an easier time, mentally committing to the one absolute all-out effort. Because once I go all in for me, once I go all in on a test or a major effort, it's hard for me to rebound. To take a 10-minute rest and then rebound and come back and hit it again just as hard. So for now on, I'm going to just do the one test, the first 8-minute segment, use that as my baseline. So long story short, I'm actually going to be entering my second phase of TrainerRoad training plan with an FTP of 266. I ended my first go at sweet spot base high volume. I ended at 260 FTP, and now I'm going to be starting my second phase. I'm going to do sweet spot base high volume again. I'm basically just going to repeat the plan because we're still in December here in New York, and there's no. I'm going to be bound to the indoor trainer all winter. With the crappy winters we get here, so there's no sense in me starting a build plan. I'm still several months away from any kind of racing, so I'm gonna redo the sweet spot base high volume plan. I'm gonna be starting that at 266 FTP, and as you guys know, I'll keep you updated on my progress throughout the plan. Let you know how my FTP increases, decreases, stays stagnant, whatever. I'll give you guys updates on that as we go along. And as you guys know, I did a video a while back talking about my goals here for 2017. Of course, my major goal for this year is I want to hopefully at least try. I want to try my hardest to reach a functional threshold power FTP that puts me at the 5 watts per kilo territory. And after yesterday's test, 266, and I'm still weighing in at 125 pounds. In fact, this morning I weighed in at 124 pounds. But, every day I've been pretty much between 124 and 126. So I'm still going with basically a 125 weight. That's pretty much where I'm weighing in. And, 266 watts into 125 pounds puts me right now at about 4.69, basically 4.7 watts per kilo off yesterday's test numbers. So my number continues to kind of slowly go up, and I'm going to do my hardest to continue to work on that and hopefully improve, and I'll give you guys more updates. But just wanted to give you guys the update here for this week, let you know what's going on in my training, what happened last week, what I'm looking forward to. I'm basically starting up sweet spot base, high volume again, and I'll let you guys know how that's progressing for me. Again, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate all the support here on the channel. And I look forward to seeing you again here next week.